of our MLB predictions. As you guys know, we filmed this one like a week or two ago, but literally every single thing
Yeah.
that was good happened literally right after we recorded. So,
Yeah.
like, I mean, it just got crazy over this last week. So we got a lot to discuss about. So we're just gonna get into it here. So we're gonna start with probably the least relevant trade, although it's still pretty relevant. We got Luis Robert going to the New York Mets, and I did not see this one coming. I'm not gonna lie. I knew the Mets needed a center fielder, but I just didn't expect them to be aggressive this free agency, especially after you saw what the Dodgers did, kind of putting themselves over everybody else in the NL. So this is honestly a very interesting move for the Mets. I think they honestly overpaid a lot for Robert. Luis Angel Acuna is a really good prospect.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Ronald's brother for crying out loud. So he's really good. They gave up somebody else who's pretty solid too. So they gave up a lot for a guy who really sucked last year. I'm not gonna lie. He had, let's see, I got his stats pulled up. Uh, he had like a 364 slugging, 297 on base, 661 OPS, which are all really terrible stats. So I don't know what we're going to get out of him. He's obviously not an MVP like he was like 3 years ago when the White Sox are really good.
Yeah.
So this is really weird to me because if the Mets get production out of him like they did for Cedric Mullins, then it might be one of the worst trades in recent history, honestly, because they gave up a lot for this guy. So I really don't know what the Mets are doing here, but I mean, you got to make moves if you want to beat the Dodgers. So I give props to them for that.
You getting a call again?
Yo. Did I lose you?
You good? Jonah, you good? Where did the audio go, bro? All right, he's tweaking out.
Can you hear me?
You good? You good? Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, my sister just called me.
Okay,
So.
I gotcha.
All right, where were we?
You were just finishing up about Robert.
All right, moral of the story is all I gotta say is Robert is that he's got to have more production in a Mets uniform. He did really bad last year for the White Sox. Nothing he did was impressive, and this could be one of the worser trades we see in recent history if he doesn't perform well.
Yeah.
So that on base percentage has got to get above 300. 297. That's pathetic, honestly. So he's got to get that up to like 320, 330. So, and if he plays, like I said, if he plays similar to Cedric Mullins, then the Mets are cooked. But what do you have to say on that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously didn't have a fantastic year last year, but like you said, if he can replicate what he did a couple years back, when the White Sox were actually relevant, I think that could be pretty big for the Mets. But props to the Mets for like actually making moves because I mean, we've seen these last couple off seasons like they're just not doing much. So I'll give them props for that. They've made a couple other moves as well. And I think they're putting themselves in a pretty good situation, pretty good spot for this upcoming season in their division.
Yeah, I totally agree. It'll be interesting because the Phillies obviously have gotten worse, I'd argue. The Braves, we don't know what we're going to get from the Braves.
We don't know what's going to happen with Atlanta.
I like what the Marlins have got for them. I think the Marlins are going to be a good team with Kyle Stowers. He's a dog. Let's see what else. And I don't even know who the fifth team in that division is. So I couldn't tell you.
The Nationals?
Yeah, I mean, most irrelevant team. But we gotta talk about Mackenzie Gore too. Shoot, he got traded too. So Nationals made a really big move too. If you guys didn't know, trading their best player on the team, who's like 23. So I don't know what they're doing there. So next up, honestly, I just want to get all these Mets players out of the way. So we'll talk about Bo Bichette last, because that's probably the most notable name to get moved from them. So we will switch to Freddie Peralta getting traded from the Brewers. And no, I criticized Luis Robert. I criticized Bo Bichette, but man, this is the move that the Mets needed, man. He obviously was a Cy Young candidate for the Brewers last year. He kind of carried them to what, the NL. He carried
NLCS
them
last
to
year.
NLCS, yeah. And he was flat out one of the best pitchers in the game. So the Mets once again gave up a decent chunk of change for Freddie. I'm not sure who exactly they gave up. They gave up, I think, a couple top 100 guys, if I'm assuming. But I mean, Freddie is one of the 10 best pitchers in baseball. Yeah, it's not even up for discussion. You could argue he's top 5. He's not personally top 5 to me, but when you have that type of guy in your rotation now, like that's you feel really confident that every single time he's on the mound, you're going to get a win. So I don't know. Honestly, I love the move for the Mets. This was my favorite thing the Mets did this offseason so far. They're probably going to do more because they just like to spend money. But he's really one of the best players in the game. It's not even up for discussion. In 2025 for Milwaukee, he had a whip of 1.075, which, I mean, that's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. And his record was 17-6. So he had one of the best win-to-loss records in the MLB. And I mean, that's elite numbers right there. Like 16 or 17-6. I get that the Brewers were the best team in the league last year. They got the most wins, but that is very, very impressive. And he had the best season. This was his best season last year as a pro. 2.7 ERA. He had like 180 innings pitched. So really, I mean, this seriously makes the Mets rotation really scary. After you got that rookie called up, I can't remember what his name was, but you got the rookie called up now. You got Freddie Peralta, you got David Peterson, you got Clay Holmes. Like, this rotation is not a top 5 rotation, but you can argue it's definitely top 10. So I think the Mets filled all their holes on their roster, man. I really did. And this is probably my biggest thing about the Mets going into the season is you can't really have your team carried by a rookie, and you go out and you get one of this guy. So, and like I said, I don't even care about the cost. He's just that good. So, and I think he's pretty cheap too. I don't know what his contract is at the moment, but the Mets got to steal the Brewers. I'm giving them a C- just because they won the AL East. Is it AL East or NL East? No,
NL Central.
NL Central. My bad.
Yeah, they've won the last couple of years.
They've won the last couple of years. So
Subchat.
I have no idea what they're honestly doing.
Yeah,
they're just throwing their title team away. So yeah, what do you got to say?
Me personally, I love it because that gets him out of the NL Central. The Cubs don't have to deal with him as much now, so that's great. But another good move for the Mets, man. Again, Brewers, they're stupid. They always have been, bro. I hate the Brewers. So, congrats, Brewers. You guys are gonna suck this year. I don't care what's gonna happen. The Cubs are gonna win the division. But yeah, another great pickup for the Mets, man. I mean, they were just a couple. They were like they needed like a win to get into the playoffs last year, and I think if they would have made it, they might have caused some damage. So I think you just keep adding a couple studs like him, um, this team can be built to last come October. So
Yeah. As you guys know, actually, you guys don't know this story. Maybe actually you do, but I actually had the Mets coming out of the NL. I think maybe
you
did I?
did.
I
You
think I
had
did have the
you,
Mets coming out of the NL.
yeah, you
That
did.
was in July, I want to say.
Yeah,
Before the
yeah,
trade deadline, I was super high on the Mets,
yep.
and they don't make the playoffs now. So I think they might have listened to me actually, because now they go
That's
out
that's
and
that's got to be what it was. That's got to be what it was.
that's
They
gotta
were
be.
scrolling. They watched the video, and they're like, "No, you got to do something."
And they're absolutely insane now. Like, I love their pitching rotation now, which is one of my biggest gripes on the team. So yeah.
Yep.
All right, moving on. I'm just gonna get all these players out of the Mets out of the way because they've been like at least a third of this offseason with like all the
Yeah.
players they've gotten rid of and taken out. I'm gonna talk about Bo Bichette going to the Mets. Now, I don't. I told Jack this, but I absolutely hate this move. Number one, he doesn't fit on this team. He has no role on this team at the moment, or on paper at least. And number two, he's really expensive for a guy who hasn't been a top five shortstop in the league at all. I don't care what you say. He's never been a top five shortstop in the league. That may be a hot take, but if you're paying a guy $30 million a year to be a DH, and like I don't know like what you're doing. Like, you're not Shohei Ohtani. You don't need to pay him that kind of money. So like I think this is one of the dumbest things the Mets did this offseason. I get it was a desperate move to steal him from the Phillies because the Phillies are probably going to get him, but I think that this move was really desperate for the Mets. I'm not going to lie. And obviously, we can't judge him off of last year. I don't know what injury he had last year, to be honest, but he didn't really play a lot last year, not to my knowledge. He didn't even play in the postseason. He played like a little bit, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he came in during the World Series.
Yeah, he came in
That
during the
like
World Series.
he didn't play until the World Series.
I'm just gonna say this is one of the dumbest things the Mets could have done. Especially when you look at their infield. You got Lindor, you got Marcus Simeon. Like, you have so many guys. You have I don't know. I don't think you want to play him at first base. I really don't. That's what they're looking at. So if you want to put him at first base to replace Pete Alonso, be my guest. But that's not the spot for Bo Bichette. I'm sorry. So it just doesn't make sense. The fit's probably a D plus for me. The signing itself for the contract and the length for like 4 years, 130 million, is probably a C for me. So overall, I'm giving this grade a C minus, man. I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong. He was probably the hottest name one of the hottest names on the market, but you just don't have a place for him on this team. So you could have done so many things too, like get an elite outfielder like Cody Bellinger from the Yankees, which I would have much rather have him over Robert personally. But you know, that's why I'm not the
Mm,
GM. I guess I don't make the decisions. So what do you
yeah,
got?
I mean, obviously Bo Bichette's pretty good. He's a good player, man. I mean,
Yeah,
like you said,
totally.
he hasn't been the top guy yet. So to me, like the Mets getting a good player that's always a good thing. You always want to get the best players that you can. Uh, but I'm just more confused about this move for the Mets because you got a great shortstop already in Lindor, so you really don't need anyone else. And he'll hit you he'll hit you a couple home runs, yeah. But um, going off of what you said, like the fit in the lineup is the most confusing part, and I am very interested to see how that works out for the Mets.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull up their roster real quick to see who they got.
God.
They have Devin Williams. I never knew that. Okay, so you obviously saw. Yeah, you obviously got Marcus Semien from the Rangers, which I don't. That's another move that I'm questioning. Why trade an old man for one of the best center fielders in the game, one of the best right fielders? My bad. You have Lindor, who's the best shortstop in the game, and you also have Jorge Polanco, who quietly had a decent year in Seattle. So, I mean, I just think that you put way too much. You just put way too much emphasis towards the infield this year to go out and make and spend this kind of money on this guy. So now looking at your outfielders, you have Soto, Robert, and your third outfielder is probably going to be Tyrone Taylor or Jared Young. So, like, I'd much rather have an outfielder over an infielder. There was plenty of outfielders in the market. You could have went after Kyle Tucker. I much would have had Kyle Tucker rather than Bo Bichette. I much rather would have had Cody Bellinger over Bichette. Like, there's a lot of other ways the Mets could have spent their money. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. So you got anything else?
No, I don't. I
No.
don't. Surprisingly.
All right, moving on. We got this one. Kind of hurts actually because me and Jack were literally on the same exact
Yeah.
stream the day before this happened, and we were hoping that this man didn't.
No,
didn't
same
sign.
day. It was same
Same
day.
day.
It
Same
was
day.
literally a couple hours later, bro.
Just a couple hours. We were literally hoping that this man didn't sign up the Dodgers. In Jack's words, he said, I hope he doesn't sign up the Dodgers. And what do you know? Kyle Tucker, as many of you guys know, signed a supermax contract with the Dodgers. The Dodgers continue to buy their ways to NL or championships, period. I don't know what else needs to be said. This team, if they don't win this title this year, this team is an embarrassment. You have like 5 Hall of Famers on your team now with Freeman, Otani. Like, I mean, it just doesn't get much. You physically can't get much more talent on this Dodgers team. I don't see how you can get more talented. So he signed. What was his contract? Do you know what his contract is?
It was I think it was 4 years, 420 mil.
4 years for 120. Is that right?
4
Can't
years,
be right.
420 mil.
4
420
years.
mil.
4 years, 420 million.
Yeah, I think so. I know it was 420 mil. I don't know how long it was. I feel it was either 4 or 5.
That's like 100. There's no way he's getting paid $100 million a year.
No, he's doing what Shohei's doing. He's like pushing it all till the end of the
Kyle
contract.
Tucker contract
It's insane.
info. Let's
And
see.
I remember saying it. Any team but
4
the
years,
Dodgers, bro.
240 million. So
240. Yep. I just
he's
switched the
getting
numbers.
60 AEV a year, ABV a year. So obviously that's a crap ton of money for anybody. So that's a huge investment for the Dodgers. But Kyle Tucker, I just love Kyle Tucker, man. He was really good in Houston. He was top 5, I think, in MVP, just above a Gabriel Perdomo. I think I'm not quite sure. Anyways, as you guys know, he had like a 380 on base percentage last year. He had an OPS of 850. Like, the dude doesn't really have much holes in his game. I mean, he's decent in left field. He was really good at the plate. He doesn't strike out. He's probably a top 10 hitter in the game, and the Dodgers already have like 2 or 3 top 10 hitters in the game already. So what I'm interested, I mean, it's a great fit too. Like, I really don't know who you would have put in the outfield as your third guy. You have Andy Pages, you have Teoscar Hernandez, but that third guy would really be up in the air. And so that was honestly their biggest thing that the Dodgers needed, that their bullpen. And their bullpen wasn't really healthy, so I can't really diss their bullpen. So I mean, I'll give it an A of a signing, man. He's just that good. I don't care about the money. The Dodgers don't care about the money. That's that. So it's just a great signing all around. If the Dodgers don't win it all, we're gonna have to have a talk because like you have countless amount of Hall of Famers on your team. So that's the
Yeah, I mean, as a Cubs fan, he was one of the main reasons for our success last year. So
yeah.
I guess I'll give him props for that. Just unfortunate to see him go. Especially to the Dodgers too, because the teams in the you teams in the AL, man, you don't have to deal with the Dodgers, bro, in the playoffs until World Series. So we got to win. We got to beat the Dodgers and then win the World Series. So yeah, there's probably only a select couple of teams that have a chance of beating the Dodgers this year in the World Series. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a good signing. Fits right into the hole that they had at right field. So good signing for the Dodgers, and it's looking like we won't be having any baseball in 2027, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, you can thank. I don't even know who the president or owner of the
I don't
Dodgers is,
know.
but
I don't know.
you can thank the Dodgers and Nets front office for that, guys. So
Yeah.
those two teams have kind of ruined this offseason, I'm not gonna lie. So that's that.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Shocker that the Yankees made a move because it seems like these three
Yeah.
teams are the only teams that make moves in the offseason because they just love spending money. So the Yankees signed Cody Bellinger. I'll pull up his contract information. Cody
5 years,
Bellinger
something. I don't know how much money he's making, but
contract.
it's like 300 something.
5-year deal. Honestly, I don't really even. It doesn't really matter how much you signed for. So he deserves a contract in the Yankees uniform, man. Last year, he was the second best bat on the team outside of Aaron Judge, and he was phenomenal. I wouldn't say he was an MVP like he was back in Chicago, but
5-year, 162 mil.
yeah, I think for the price and for the length, that's a perfect deal for a guy who really changed his career around. Let's be honest. Let me pull up his stats here. Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, especially after that fantastic season he had. Was that 2018? He kind of fell off a cliff there for a little bit.
Yeah. So Cody Bellinger, I mean, had like an 800 OPS, something like that. He had like 340. Let's see what he had. If I'm assuming, he had 334 on base percentage. His slug was at 480. Like this dude needed to stay with the Yankees. I'm gonna be honest. He proved himself as a second option in New York. I don't know if he's gonna continue his career like this. I don't know if he's gonna go back to this again next season, but he definitely adds a insurance bat behind Aaron Judge. Let's be honest, because that's what the Yankees need. Is they need somebody to hit the ball outside of Aaron Judge. Their pitching, as we know, is phenomenal. They got Cam Schlittler, who's emerged out of nowhere in the postseason last year. So I just love this signing. 5 years, $162 million. It's not even that big of a contract. Like that's what $30 million a year. Like that's half of what Kyle Tucker's getting paid, and I think he's maybe a tier below Kyle Tucker. He's worth probably a little. He's worth a lot more than that, considering Kyle Tucker got $60 million a year. So, I mean, the dude just flat out led the Yankees to the AL conference series. I mean, him and Aaron Judge carried the team. I would have liked them to re-sign Trent Grisham. I don't know what Trent Grisham is doing at the moment. He was Trent Grisham was amazing for the Yankees. That was the first guy I wanted them to go after. I mean, then it was Cody Bellinger, but I mean, it's just a great signing, man. And it just keeps the Yankees' title hopes alive at the moment too, in my opinion. At least in the
Yeah.
AL. They're not getting past the NL, but it's between the Yankees and the Red Sox right now for the AL, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good signing, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Cody had a very good season last year. Unfortunately, I was hoping the Cubs would go snag him, especially since Kyle Tucker decided not to stay. So, but love that he got his long-term contract. After he kind of got rejected by getting shipped off to the Cubs in some mediocre seasons. They're glad he's making some money and getting his long-term contract
Yeah.
in New York, so he can be a top 3 player there. So good for Cody Bellinger, and yeah, keeps like you said, keeps the Yankees title hopes alive.
All right, there's got to be something left that we haven't discussed yet. So just give me a second here to go through this here. Rays, Orioles. Oh, okay. Of course. Okay. We didn't discuss Mackenzie Gore to the Rangers, which I was shocked about. This was the craziest thing that I thought happened in the free agency so far. Mackenzie Gore going to the Texas Rangers. And the Rangers last year, they really struggled with their pitching. I don't know who was pitching for the Rangers, honestly, towards the end of the year. I know they got the Grom, but I think they got Nathan Eovaldi. But Nathan Eovaldi really sucked last year. Let's be honest. He did really good against the Diamondbacks. What was it? Was it the Diamondbacks? It was the Diamondbacks in the World Series a couple years ago. But he's fallen off a cliff. And you add a top 15 pitcher in the game, Mackenzie Gore, who I'm not going to bring up his stats because it's really inflated by how bad the Nationals team is. But he is behind Paul Skeens. He's probably like my number 2 most upcoming pitcher in today's game. He's legit. I think he had a winning record, even though he played on the Nationals, which is insane to think about. He had a good whip. Like the dude is, like I said, the dude is worth everything the Rangers gave up, and the Rangers gave up a decent amount. But the thing with the Rangers too is that similar to the Mets, they need a pitching, and after a frustrating year, similar to the Mets, they went out and made a really big trade. So I think this obviously sends a message to the Astros and the Mariners and the A's and the AL West. And I think the Rangers are really mad about not making the postseason, man. You look at the roster from last year, and on paper, it looked like a World Series team. I thought generally on day one they were going to make it to the World Series with how talented their team was last year.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out this year. And now that you got your ace of your team, you're probably going to be back in the playoffs, and you're probably going to steal the Astros spot. So I love this signing for the Rangers. I mean, you pair him with a young Wyatt Langford, and you've got the best young core in the league. I don't even care what anybody else says. Wyatt Langford and Mackenzie Gore, the best young duo in the game. So you probably don't know much about the guy, Jack, since he plays for the Nationals, but I'll let you say your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, top upcoming pitcher. I mean, going to a Rangers team that, let's not forget, won the World Series just like, what was that, 3 years ago?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, they still got a lot of some of the same guys there still. So
Yeah.
I'm interested to see, like, are they gonna hopefully keep the Astros out of the playoffs again? Because freaking hate the Astros, but
Yeah.
yeah, that makes the division even more competitive with how well the Mariners played last year. They were pretty close to making the World Series, and you got the A's, who are weirdly have kind of a solid young core.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how that division plays out.
Yeah, and I'm just going to talk about this division for a little bit because it might be the best division next year. I'm not going to lie. The Astros, as we know, are always decent. I mean, they're not what they once were, but I'm interested to see if Framber Valdez gets traded. That'll change my perspective on this team. But for now, they're really good. The Seattle Mariners, as you guys know, were my World Series team out of the AL, and they played Toronto really tough. They had like a 15 inning game against Toronto, so if it wasn't for Toronto getting in their way, they would have made the AL if it wasn't for Toronto. So represent the World Series. And you got the A's, which I mean, but besides the Rangers, the A's have the second best young core in the league, in my opinion. You got Nick Kurtz, who's the best first baseman in the MLB. You got Jacob Wilson. You got Tyler Soderstrom. You got Lawrence Butler. Like, this A's team is going to be really good too, as long as they can get a pitcher. Which, I mean, I don't know if the A's will ever find a pitcher, but if they get a pitcher, ladies and gentlemen, the A's will probably make the playoffs. And I know it's a hot take, but if you look into it,
We're gonna
not
get a
really.
playoff game in a AAA stadium.
That would be legendary. So, I mean, going back to the Rangers too, it's interesting what they do because you got a lot of young guys and a lot of old guys on your team now. You got Mackenzie Gore, you got Wyatt Langford, but you also have Corey Seager, who's been in the league for forever. But when he's healthy, Corey Seager is the top 5 shortstop in the league. You got Jacob deGrom, you got Josh Smith, Josh Young. So I like this Rangers team. I like every team out of the AL West except for the Angels. So, all right. Let's see. What else do we have here? Can you think of anything else? Because I know
I can't think of anything.
You can't think of anything else? Let's see here. Dylan Cease went to the Orioles.
I feel like I did see that.
Dylan Cease went to the Orioles. Hold up. We haven't discussed this, so he went to the Blue Jays? What? Whoa. Okay. We're going to talk about Dylan Cease going to Blue Jays. This probably happened probably a month or two ago, but we haven't discussed Dylan Cease going to the Blue Jays. I didn't know he was on Toronto, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I did. You're right. Yep. Yeah, I did see that. Actually, I did see that.
Let's talk about Mr. Cease here. Dylan Cease trade info. Was he traded or did he sign?
I think
he had to have signed.
I think he signed.
Okay, so this is probably going to be our last one here because we literally got everybody I could think of at least. But I know there's going to be more players getting traded, like Brendan Donovan, like Framber Valdez. So Dylan Cease goes to the Toronto Blue Jays, and in a great move, in my opinion. I don't know the contract info. I don't really care to pull it up, to be honest. But Toronto, this is what you needed, man. Literally, the only thing you needed was starting pitching. Starting pitching single-handedly lost you the game against the Dodgers in the World Series. I think we can all agree on it. And your bullpen wasn't great either, but outside of Kevin Gausman, and Kevin Gausman was very iffy at times, nobody could throw a strike over the plate. So you get Dylan Cease, who last year wasn't a Cy Young candidate, but had a really good year in San Diego. He had, let's see here, Dylan Cease. He had a am I reading this 4.5 ERA? Okay, it's weird. He had a WHIP of 1.3 and an ERA plus a 94. So honestly, Dylan Cease actually didn't have a great year, and in a Padres uniform. So I didn't expect that, to be honest. So I just still think that this is what the Blue Jays needed. This is what their only piece was from costing them World Series, and they have I don't know if he's an ace or not, but he's a good guy. He's a good pitcher, so I think he'll turn around Toronto. So I don't think Toronto's the favorite though. So yeah, that's all
Yeah,
I
I
got.
mean, it's a good pickup from Toronto. I mean, Cease played one game in the playoffs last year. And
Yeah,
that was the only time the Cubs lost at home during the postseason was when he
I
was
forgot.
pitching.
I
So
forgot the Padres made the
he
playoffs last year.
he shut the Cubs down offensively in game two, and that was a big reason why they were able to push it to 3 games. So obviously he knows how to pitch in the playoffs, which is what you need. So all
Yeah,
you got to do is get there. So I think that's a good pickup for sure.
yeah. Well, we successfully did all that coverage in like 30 minutes. So I feel like we did a great job.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have another MLB video because spring training's coming up. I
Hmm.
think it's coming up in like 3 weeks. And opening day is like a month or 2 months away. So and we still got a lot more stuff happening in the MLB
Yeah.
offseason. So
And we
we'll
got
be
to
back with
predict
that.
predict the divisions like we did for that for NFL.
We'll do that. We'll do that sometime.
Yeah.
That'll be like a off season for football, kind of when football's done.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we got our conference predictions for football.
Yeah,
So
man. 3
I'm
games left
super
of the
excited.
NFL season, man.
3 games left of the NFL season. We got a really good one in the Rams and the Seahawks, the Broncos and Patriots. I really don't care about, but I love it. This is like the best time of year, man.
Yeah,
Super
man.
Bowl. So the NBA All Stars coming up too. So we got a lot. We still got a lot to discuss about. So, but that's all I got. So you want to close and say anything or close it out
Yeah.
here?
I mean, 56 more subs or 50 some more subs till 200. Help us get to
Yep.
200 by the Super Bowl.
Yep.
We got 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yep.
So be sure to share all the content out to your friends. Be sure to like and sub. Tag us and stuff if you want to see stuff. Like
Yeah.
if you see an ESPN post, tag us in it. So then we'll make a reaction to it. So,
Yeah.
but that's all we got. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for our conference championship game predictions. Peace out.